We're working to connect a region of over 600 million bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Maricar Velasco, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines, the alleged masterminds of the Philippines' worst political massacre will learn their fate Thursday when a Manila court issues its verdict in a test of the justice system for a nation with a deep-seated culture of impunity. The Trade Ministry said Indonesia has filed a World Trade Organization lawsuit against the European Union over plans to phase out palm oil-based biofuel or cars. Cambodia hosted the 3rd Southeast Asia Video Festival for Children 2019. The alleged masterminds of the Philippines' worst political massacre will learn their fate Thursday when a Manila court issues its verdict. A decade ago, 58 people, including 32 media workers, were slaughtered and dumped into roadside pits during an attack that was also one of the world's worst mass killings of journalists. Amid international outrage, the slaughter cast a harsh spotlight on the Philippines' deep-seated problems of all-powerful political dynasties, easy access to guns, and official impunity. Victims' families have endured a trial of 101 defendants marred by allegations of bribery, defense delays, the murder of several witnesses, and fear that the still powerful accused could be acquitted. A guilty verdict will be a strong signal to human rights abusers that they can't always get away with murder, researcher Carlos Conde of New York-based Human Rights Watch told AFP. He adds a not guilty verdict would be catastrophic for the cause of human rights and justice, adding acquittal would signal to warlords that it's business as usual and that they can continue using violence, intimidation, and corruption to rule their communities. Leaders of the powerful Ampatuan family who ruled the impoverished southern province of Maguindanao are charged with organizing the November 23, 2009 mass killing in a bid to quash an election challenge from a rival clan. Rescuers in the southern Philippines used heavy equipment and their bare hands in hopes of finding several people feared trapped beneath a building toppled by a powerful earthquake that claimed at least 3 lives. Sunday's tremor cracked schools, toppled homes, and injured dozens, but largely spared big cities on the island of Mindanao, which is still recovering from a string of deadly quakes in October. Applause erupted after Leslie Jane Gatos, 31, was pulled from the rubble on Sunday shortly after the tremor.
Nilinog man, nalabay ko, na luhod. Tapos paglingi na ko, sir, kisami na po. Sugod kayo, sir, ang impact, sir. Murag ko ng, basta, murag jud siya. Ambot kamatayon siguro, sir. Pagkahuman, nakagawas na jud ko, sir, nakakita na jud ko mga tao, nipakpak naman ang mga tao. Kaya ako may una di ay na-rescue.
Searchers have pulled survivors from the collapsed market building in the town of Padada, but were still looking for a person who had texted authorities saying 6 people were trapped under the rubble. The United States Geological Survey said the earthquake had a depth of 28.2 kilometers or 17.5 miles. Multiple aftershocks ranging in magnitudes from 4.8 to 5.7 have been reported in the area. A statement issued by local officials urged everyone to remain calm but stay vigilant in anticipation of aftershocks. Residents across the Mindanao island of the Philippines reported feeling shaking. A young child was killed when a family home collapsed near the epicenter, and searchers pulled the bodies of 2 victims from the collapsed market building. Davao is the home of President Duterte. He was in the city when the quake struck but is reportedly unharmed. Fortunately, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has said that there is no tsunami threat as a result of the quake. Nevertheless, several strong aftershocks have been recorded, including one north of General Santos City, which had a magnitude of 5.7 on the Richter scale. Malacanang questioned Vice President Leni Robredo anew for taking so long in releasing her report on the government's drug war after she postponed the release in unity with victims of the magnitude 6.9 quake that jolted Davao del Sur on Sunday.
Bring it on.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said Robredo would not have needed to push back the release of her findings if she had done it when she was still co-chair of the Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs. Vice President Robredo first postponed the release of her report on the drug war with the 30th Association of Southeast Asian Nations Games ongoing. She was supposed to release the report yesterday but deferred it. In a televised press conference, Robredo said her team from the office of the Vice President will be going to quake-affected areas in Mindanao to provide assistance to victims.
Nag-iisip pa ng ilalabas.
It's taking her so long. As the President said, bring it on. Whatever you want to come out with. Mahirap kasi pag wala ka naman talagang ilalabas. At nag-iisip ka pa kung anong ilalabas mo, ito lang matagal.
U.S. regulators said Monday they had permanently barred a former Goldman Sachs executive from the securities industry over bribery in Malaysia's 1MDB scandal. The settlement comes more than a year after Tim Leisner admitted bribery and money laundering conspiracy charges related to the case, which rocked the Malaysian political scene and the giant Wall Street bank. Leisner used third-party intermediaries to bribe high-ranking officials in Malaysia and Abu Dhabi so that Goldman could win lucrative businesses from 1MDB, a Malaysian government-owned investment firm, according to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. In a statement, Charles Kan, head of the SEC's Foreign Bribery Unit, said Leisner's abused his leadership role at Goldman Sachs by engaging in a massive bribery scheme targeting the highest level of two foreign governments in order to bring in lucrative business to their firm and enrich himself. As part of the settlement, Leisner will also surrender $43.7 million in ill-gotten gains, according to the SEC. Though this will be offset by payments as part of a forfeiture settlement reached last year with the Justice Department. Following his guilty plea in August, Leisner is scheduled to face sentencing on June 11 in a federal court in Brooklyn, New York. More news when ASEAN in Focus returns.
Net25 is now available on OSN, the largest entertainment network in the Middle East and North Africa.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN channel 725, same day as the Philippines.
Net25 shows live and on demand
Anytime, anywhere,
on any mobile device on OSN Play.
I am here right now at Spanish Banks, one of Vancouver's popular beaches, where you get a great view of the Vancouver skyline and the North Shore Mountains. Make sure you tune into Digital Nest every Tuesday and Thursday. I am Lucino, your EBC Canada correspondent, and I'm one with 25.
Hello Digital Nesters, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to watch our future features.
Hi, I am Teacher Sally and this is Kid Kwento, one of Net25 Kids' online shows. Kid Kwento is now on TV. You can watch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 to 4:30 p.m. Also watch Anong Sa Inyo with Ate DJ every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 to 4:30 p.m. Sa Kid Kwento, ang aming motto ay, let's all read to succeed! Hooray! Kita-kita tayo ha! Bye-bye!
Welcome back. The Trade Ministry said Indonesia has filed a World Trade Organization lawsuit against the European Union over plans to phase out palm oil-based biofuel for cars. The action could escalate a trade dispute between Indonesia, the world's top palm oil producer, and the EU, which plans to end its use of biofuels by 2030, citing concerns over widespread deforestation caused by the sector. The EU earlier imposed duties on imports of subsidized biodiesel from Indonesia, saying it was needed to level the playing field for its producers. In response to what it called discriminative policies against the key palm oil exports, Trade Minister Agus Suparmanto said in a statement Sunday that Indonesia officially sent a request for consultation on December 9, 2019 to the EU as the initial step for the lawsuit. Neighboring Malaysia, the world's second biggest palm oil producer, has also threatened WTO action against the EU. Teresa Kok, the minister overseeing Malaysia's palm oil sector, told AFP on Monday that she will head to Europe in March and a challenge will not be filed until after then. She said she wanted to try to convince European officials to change course on her trip. Palm oil is the world's most widely used vegetable oil and a key ingredient in a wide range of products from food to cosmetics. However, environmentalists say it drives deforestation, with huge swathes of Southeast Asian rainforests logged in recent decades to make way for palm plantations. Battling drought, debt, and ailments blamed on pesticides, rice farmers in northern Thailand have turned to eco-friendly growing methods despite powerful agribusiness interests in a country that is one of the top exporters of the grain in the world. Some farmers joined a pilot agricultural project for the SRI, or System of Rice Intensification Method, which aims to boost yields while shunning pesticides and using less water. There have been health benefits too. Farmers said it's definitely better because they don't get sick anymore. And SRI was invented in the 1980s in Madagascar by a French Jesuit priest, and the technique has spread globally. It works by planting crops wider apart, thus drawing in more nutrients and light and limiting the amount of water that gets into fields, which helps microorganisms flourish to act as natural fertilizers. In a plus for debt-laden farmers, it also uses fewer seeds, and they are encouraged to use plants and ginger roots that naturally deter insects rather than chemical alternatives, meaning fewer expenses. Traditional Thai rice farmers earn around 3,000 baht a month, or $100, but farmers were able to increase their income by 20% after adopting the SRI method. Rice is a staple in the diet of around 3 billion people globally. However, agricultural workers are locked in a vicious cycle beset by drought and floods. Brought by climate change, the farmers contribute to the disruption as their fields release methane and nitrous oxide to greenhouse gases. With SRI, paddy fields are not permanently flooded, which reduces methane emissions by 60%, according to Tristan Lecomte, founder of a Pour Project, a French company supporting the technique. Southeast Asia, where agriculture supports millions, is slowly embracing SRI. The U.S.-based Cornell University created a center specializing in the technique in 2010, and more than 2 million farmers in the region, especially from Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, have been trained. The Philippines, which grows rice but is also one of the world's leading importers, is also interested in this method, and the Ministry of Agriculture has started training farmers. Thailand reversed a decision Wednesday to ban a controversial weed killer and extend the permitted use of 2 other pesticides for 6 months, following pushback from its multi-billion-dollar agriculture industry. Glyphosate, a weed killer better known by its trade name Roundup, is a lightning rod for controversy as more than 42,700 lawsuits pile up in the U.S., with plaintiffs alleging that it has caused diseases including terminal cancers. However, it remains popular among farmers in Thailand, one of the world's leading rice and sugar producers, who are among the heaviest users of pesticides in a sector that employs 40% of the population. Studies have linked glyphosate, paraquat, and chlorpyrifos and a variety of illnesses in the kingdom last month decided the trio would be prohibited from its crops by December 1. However, Thailand's National Hazardous Substances Committee ruled Wednesday that the continued limited use of glyphosate would be permitted, according to Industry Minister Surya Juangrungruangkit, without elaborating. Kopiko maker PT Mayora Indah TBK and the Indonesian government will support the training of 10 Filipino coffee farmers to increase their productivity, according to the Department of Agriculture. The training grant, which is a joint project between Philippines and Indonesia organizations, seeks to expand Filipino coffee farmers' knowledge and skills on coffee farming and processing. The DA said the training would boost farmers' productivity and help arrest the declining supply of locally grown coffee in the Philippines. The Philippine-Indonesia Partnership Coffee Farmers Training Grant is a project by the DA, the Philippine Coffee Board Incorporated, Indonesian Food and Beverage manufacturer PT Mayora Indah TBK, and the Embassy of Indonesia in the Philippines. The DA said the training grant will provide advanced trainings in the Philippines as well as Indonesia, the fourth largest coffee producer in the world. PCBI President Chit Wan said, quote, "This training aims to contribute to the local government's program in improving productivity, product quality, and profitability of the country's coffee farms through a competitive and sustainable value chain from farming to manufacturing." More news when we come back. Stay tuned.
Net25 shows live and on demand anytime, anywhere, on any mobile device on OSN Play.
What's up, everybody? Just like snow in Las Vegas being a rare thing, so are opportunities in life. So whenever they come around, seize the moment. Tune into Digital Nest on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on Net25. I'm Ahmed Santos, your EBC correspondent, always one with 25. Peace!
Hello, Digital Nesters. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to watch our future features.
Welcome back. The Indonesian martial art of Pencak Silat has been added to UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. Dating back to as early as the 6th century, one legend has it that the practice, which blends self-defense and artistic elements. Take a look. This originated after a woman watched a tiger do battle with a giant hawk and copied their techniques to fight off a pestering group of drunken men. The term Bangkok Silat describes hundreds of indigenous combat styles in Southeast Asia, with fighters wielding a terrifying array of weapons such as knives, sickles, and machetes. It has gained greater awareness outside Indonesia after being featured in Star Wars and John Wick films in recent years. Cambodia hosted the third Southeast Asia Video Festival for Children 2019. Our EBC correspondent Crystal Ann Ballesteros reports from Cambodia.
The third Southeast Asia Video Festival for Children was held at Sunway Hotel Phnom Penh, comprised of this year's festival organizers as well as the delegates from the 10 nations under the Southeast Asia region. "21 entries made by children vied for the 10 major awards, which was screened during the 3-day event. With the first 2 festivals hosted by the Anak TV Foundation already penned in the history books, Cambodia excitedly accepted the challenge to host this year's Southeast Asia Video Festival for Children under the theme United in Love, which aims to focus on the importance of family traditions and cultures.
Welcome to my country, the Kingdom of Wonder, the Kingdom of Cambodia. Witness the joy of magical thing. My country is a treasure of Southeast Asia with wonderful historical places and wonderful culture and traditions. Come, let's go and join me discover Cambodia.
I'm feeling very proud that the Anak TV, the Secretariat, are giving us a chance to be hosted the event here in Cambodia. You know, we don't have experience much, but we try very hard, you know, to coordinate with Biofuel TV, with other organizations. Yeah, and I'm very proud and very excited. Yeah.
Love indeed unites, as this year's Southeast Asia Video Festival for Children continues in its aspirations to eradicate borders and help to foster excellence in producing children content. Reporting from Phnom Penh, Cambodia, I am Crystal Ann Ballesteros, and I am one with 25.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco, and I am one with 25.